Hi everyone, thank you for joining me, Wendy Anderson, justbe.me. So in this video it's talking about the changes coming up to 2030 and how we are going to be living our lives. It may not be everyone because, this is a planet of free will, so we really get to choose how we want to live. Do we evolve, which takes a lot of courage, a lot of bravery to come out of that mould and to begin something new and something different. It takes a lot of doing, but it's our choice, and some people may be too fearful to come out of the way of being that they've felt comfortable with for so long. So there will almost feel like two realities on the planet. And there's no right or wrong in either. Where you are is where you are. But over a period of time, they will be given an option of the two realities. So we're going to feel the division in the beginning, and how long that lasts for depends on humanity. This is free will. It doesn't matter about time. It's man-made anyway. It doesn't matter. It takes as long as it takes. We have all the time in the universe. So where you are is right where you are. Others, they are right where they should be as well for their time. For myself. In the beginning when, my guides were really starting to get louder and coming online, and guiding me into doing these videos, it took me a year to even post one. For me it felt absolutely terrifying. So it takes a lot of courage to come out of the mold and do something different, and it's kind of like now I do it and it's you get back into it again, and it's absolutely fine, and it actually becomes enjoyable, and for me there's an energetic share that feels good. It's just that initial getting over yourself to do it. But this goes with my whole life as well. So service to self and service to others. So service to self, 51%. And when I say service to self, it literally is doing the things that you love doing the things that light you up, doing the things that recharge your energy. And that is different for each individual. It's different for each person. It could be meditation, it could be breath work, it could be yoga, it could be walks in nature, it could be doing a jigsaw puzzle, it could be art, crafts, it could be absolutely anything that lights you up. But that energetic value of taking time out to do those things and gifting that time to the universe, that is, and people would deem that as being selfish or service to self. It's actually the other way around. That is actually in service for the whole of humanity. Because wherever you are lighting yourself up and recharging your batteries and getting that beautiful light energy in, so you've got a light body as well, and an etheric field all the way around this physical form. Because in actual, the truth is you are energy. That is your truth, is an energetic form, and as we ascend we come more into this energetic form, like beings over that want to choose an experience in 8th dimensionality and above. The program in that dimension is you don't need a physical form, so you can just be in existence as an energetic form, energetic value. So the truth is we are energy, but the miracle of this human existence and life is that we manifest and we create a physical form, with all of the senses, with touch, with smell, with sound, sight, that we can take in, kind of like the third dimensional physical creations in itself as well. All of those creations are miraculous. You are the walking miracle. This is how amazing you are. And your energy is infinite as a human being. It's not finite. There are some beings that were created to be finite. But as human beings, we are not. We are infinite. Energetically. It's just a programmed state of being. that we've been, it's just in the mind state that you can only live to 80, 100. It's just a mind program. You know, the body is actually designed, if kept clean and without toxins, you know, you can easily live twice as long as what we actually think, even maybe 3 times. You know, there have been beings on this planet that have lived 3 times as long. So it is possible, but it's the eternal alchemist. It's the keeping the rejuvenated mind and that rejuvenate cells. So whatever is going on with your body is being programmed from whatever is going on in your mind. So it's getting back to what's going on in your subconscious box, because that is also going to be programming your cellular structure and your physical form. So the mind programs are really important. So living your life to your own authority. Where is it these programs are coming in? So service to self is actually that 9 to 5, 5 days a week job. That is actually the service to self. You know, to get the money in, it's service to self. That's not service to humanity. So by 2030, there's going to be a lot of shiftings and changes on this planet. There's going to be more and more people that just cannot exist in the service to self society, that it will be more inclined to be, it's got to be for all, it's got to be the good for all, it's got to be the good of everybody. Technologies as well, you know, technologies without a higher state of consciousness can be very dangerous. So, you know, building these technological advances, you know, great, you can do it. The question is, should you do it? Is the question. So there's, you know, it's checking in with ourselves, and this is a shift as well, is the inner authority. How am I living on my own authority, or am I living to somebody else's expectations of me and an external authority? So the expectations of us is to service to self, to go out, to earn money. A third goes to whomever for whatever, you know, that we need some more clarity around that. Or the choice is going to be coming up between now and 2030 and beyond, to literally, is this a system that I want to live within? So you're going to be finding people wanting to live more in their own authority, and you're kind of seeing it now a little bit, you know, people that are, you know, going off on their own, buying pieces of land and being self-sufficient, literally sidestepping out of a service to self way of living and a service to others way of living. And when I say because it's service to others, it's literally if you're filling your holy grail chalice cup with beautiful divine light energy, it lights you up. When you're around people that are lit up, and if you're in that 9 to 5 job, you won't be around many people that are lit up. When you are around these people that are lit up, just feel their energy. Some people will not be able to stand it because it's too bright, and it'll literally shine a light on every single one of your shadows. And it'll be like, I can't bear to be around this lit person. Or only for a short amount of time. And there are people, so you'll either be repulsed by lit up people, or you will be really attracted to this lit up people. So wherever your energy field is at, so if you're feeling repulsed by a lit up person on this planet right now, you've got some work to do. Because if you think of as a magnetic field, you've got your positive, you've got your minus. When you're charging yourself, it's like a positive frequency, vibration. It's just energy. You know, there's no right or wrong in this or judgment. It's just a positive vibration. So you're doing the things that light you up. You're doing the things that are kind of like in positivity, that make you feel good from within, and then you're going about your business and you can see people walking down the street, I've noticed this, and they've just got this posture about them and just like this inner smile on their face, and you're like, they've got it going on, they've got it go, you can see it. And then you see people walking down the street and it's kind of like it's Zombieland, and they're really creaky and stiff and groany, and it's kind of like they've got this death posture, you know, the spine is curved, the head is down, the shoulders are getting close to the ground, and you're thinking, ooh, they might not belong on this plane, bless them, but still love for your service on this planet. So you can kind of you can tell by people's postures, you can tell by somebody's face, you can just feel somebody's energetic value and space. So they're in their worth, you know, they're filling their cup, they are filling their bucket, and they are taking time out from earning the money for what? For what? And it's like me and my husband were talking about this, you know, only yesterday. Throughout our working lives, and what have we got to show for it? You know, it's kind of like, yeah, we've you know, we had a beautiful stable house to raise the children in, and I am so grateful for that the children have had stability, great schools, great area. You know, I feel so fortunate and so lucky. But we didn't get holidays abroad very much. You know, we kind of like did camping because, you know, we chose to have the stability of the home and the house. And that's the choosing. Whereas now we're turning it on its head, and it's kind of like downsizing. You know, the home, the children, you know, are growing and starting to leave the nest, and you know, wanting their own spaces. So it's time to turn that around, and it's not about the home anymore or the cars, or it's about the experientials. So the travel for the children when they were younger, we didn't give those experientials because we were too busy paying bills. You know, when I think about, you know, we were grown up, we were brought up with the program of, you know, work really, really hard, you'll get to the top, put some money away in your savings account, jobs are good in. And it's kind of like we tried to do that over the last, you know, 20 years or so, longer, 30 years. And we haven't managed to save hardly anything because something always comes up. You know, you just feel like you're getting on top. And it's kind of like when I think about the recessions that we've managed to kind of scrape through with our businesses and things like that, we've, you know, nearly lost our home. People have gone bankrupt of us, you know, people that we've taken to court, people that have taken us to court. You know, and it's kind of like, where has it got us? No holidays, or very, you know, camping holidays. You know, we haven't really had fancy cars, but you know, we have had this amazing house that we, you know, over the last 20 years couldn't even afford to decorate, or didn't have the time or energy to decorate it when you've got young children. So we've put some love back into it, and there you go. Off it's popping for Pastors New. Don't know what yet, but it's about the experientials now. It's a scary situation to be in. You know, me and my husband haven't got jobs as such. You know, we do things out of the love of helping another person because our buckets are full. So if somebody, you know, my husband's a joiner, so if somebody says, you know, I need a hand cutting this wood, or just a hand finishing something off, or you know, doing something, it's kind of like, you know, we're quite happy to help people out. You know me, by resonance therapy, so anyone that's kind of like, oh, you know, I've got this sciatica or frozen shoulder or this autoimmune disease or just something that is coming up symptomatically in the body, right, you know, let's have a look at you. So it's kind of like our lives is just filling our cups, and then when that is overspilling, it's kind of like, right, how can I help you out? So there's something coming in that's going to be a shift from the financial value, and it's more of a quantum finance system. obviously as a human being, we are going into how do you know what you know before you know it, before you've walked into it, and you're not supposed to. It's let the mystery of it unfold, because you'll experience it in a different way, or you'll get impatient. It's like, well, come on, hurry up then. So something is shifting on this planet from a certain way of being, which is very third dimensional, that is fed into 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, pay your taxes, pay your utility companies, which is getting ridiculous. And you have nothing left at the end of it. Whereas, that's a shift from like even the 70s. One person could go out to work in a household and you could still have a holiday at the end of the year. Now you need 3 people working in a household just to make ends meet. What's the point of killing yourself on that hamster wheel? And we watched my mum and dad retire, and it didn't last long, basically. They didn't really enjoy it. So me and my husband have made the conscious decision to retire now. Yes, we've had the scoffing at us. We've had that, well, how can you two afford to retire? Well, we simply can't. We just try the best that we can. Can we make ends meet? No. Are we bothered? No. Have we got a fuck it box? Yeah. So when bills come in, they go in the fuck it box. Excuse the French. Because we've realised that certain authorities haven't got the leverage or the legalities behind them anymore. Certain things that we thought you had to do, we don't have to do anything. You're a sovereign being. This is a planet of free will. You can literally live the way you want to live. Yes, there's certain authorities fighting back because they've been used to sat like little robins and being fed and not being answerable for it. Well, now they are being made answerable and accountable for their dealings. And obviously, because they haven't been held accountable, so it's our fault as well. We've been participatory into these contracts as well. So we are responsible for it, but all of a sudden we're waking up and we're going, right, what am I getting for my money? There's some of us that haven't used the healthcare system. Me personally, I haven't used the healthcare system since 2011. Or my family. A&E was amazing. I would still put my money in A&E. And I would love a facility to be able to choose where to place my money, because my son came off his bike, the sewed his head up, he had a gash that big seen through his skull. They did amazing, absolutely amazing. So it's kind of like, I'm not knocking the health service, but there's certain factors around that health service that you've got to face a corruption right now, because it has killed people and is continuing to kill people, and there is no accountability for that. That's the thing that we have to question. Where's the accountability in these dealings? But you're only accountable for self and your own choices and your own contracts. That's your sovereignty. How is it that I'm living a sovereign life? If you are not living on your own authority and you are not living your sovereign life, it will start to come up in physical symptoms wherever it is that you are virtue signalling and handing your life away to another authority. So pancreas is a big one. So pancreatic cancers. So the pancreas comes up and starts to get angry if you are living your life to somebody else's authority. So this is about belief systems. Where is it that I feel like I have to X, Y, Z? So kind of like some of you that'll do some kind of cleansing process. It could be breath work. Those of you that go to mosque and you do the cleanse before you go into temple, yoga, walking, anything, and you get that little kind of like, you do a little burp, so to speak. Or you may have an aversion to onions, which is really interesting. So that is literally a sign that your pancreas is not functioning to its full potential, that there's something wrong there. So you could have parasites, you could have gallstones, that you could have pathogen in there, like hepatitis C or B, or there's other hepatitis strains as well. So you got something going on in there, and it needs a little bit of a cleanse. And the reason why it needs a cleanse, so Sometimes as well, kind of like type 1 diabetes as well. Type 2 diabetes, can be balanced out by lifestyle changes, dietary and lifestyle changes. Again, kind of like type 1 diabetes, again, is kind of like, right, I am just letting go of all authority over myself, and I am letting somebody else make the choices over my foods, over my insulin, over my glucose levels, over everything else. And what do? They put, is it a stent in the body that, gives you this insulin. But it's a great thing because it can save lives as well. But it literally removes all authority from the person to take care of their own nutritional, dietary and lifestyle needs. Interestingly, it seems to come up at a certain age in children. And I was talking to a lady, and there was literally 3 children in her daughter's class, all at the same time, but that all of a sudden developed type 1 diabetes. 3 children in the same year. So, that is a condition that is acquired. So anything that is acquired can be unacquired. Yeah. But it's really delving into it. It's really doing your homework. How can nutrition play a part in this? Managed nutrition, and that takes a lot of work and a lot of effort for parents. You've got 2 parents that are working full time and just simply haven't got the time or the energy to put into a planned nutritional plan, for the child. I get it. It's a space that is really, really difficult. Homeopathy can be really interesting for balancing out some belief systems as well, but it's getting that child back to take control over its own inner authority. Are we going to see more type 1 diabetes, which is going to be really interesting as well? Just a question out there. Type 2 diabetes is something a little bit different. So type 2, you'll retain your glucose levels. This is going into a different video, isn't it? But maybe it needs to come out right now. Some of you may be experiencing this. I always talk about things that need to be talked about. So type 2 is something a little bit of a different belief system. And cancers as well, by the way. So when I'm talking about pancreatic cancers, it's kind of like I have no choice but to X, Y, Z. So cancers are about choice, choosing, free will. I have no choice but to turn up in this way. So pancreatic cancers are normally people that are really invested in their work as well. Really invested in it, and they find it really, really difficult to take time out to have a little bit of joy, to have a little bit of fun, because they're really invested in the work value. And that's somebody else's authority. That's you turning up the way that somebody else needs you to turn up. That's not turning up for the way you need to turn up for yourself. So type 2 diabetes is something a little bit different in your belief systems. So type 2 diabetes is about you'll retain the glucose because you're getting ready to fight. And you're getting ready to fight because you're obtaining your love from the husband, wife, kids, whoever it is. You're obtaining your love and your energetic value, your joy, your love, your energy from external sources, other people, rather than generating it for yourself. So if you're feeling threatened, say like somebody's eyeing up your girlfriend or your boyfriend, you'll store your glucose because you're getting ready for that energy, that burst of energy for the fight. And it'll come up in the kidneys, it'll come up in the adrenals, and you'll start to feel initially really tired because literally all your energy is being sucked down to the adrenals to get ready to be ready for the fight, to protect the energetic value that you are protecting, but it's an external source. So the body is telling you are coming away from loving yourself because you are putting the authority and the responsibility in another person for your energy. So type 2 diabetes is a big one, isn't it? It's big. So change your lifestyle. So this is why it's important to change your lifestyle and change your dietary needs, because if you're putting nutrients into your body, energetically you're going to feel more vibrant in itself. You're not going to need that energy from spouse, wife, girlfriend, kids, whoever it is that you've got in your life, mother, father, whatever it is. You're not going to need it If you are taking time out to, say, go for a walk, a physical kind of like activity, that's something that balances up the physical body. Again, that's going to light your fire. It's going to kind of like light the energy. It's going to balance out your adrenals. You're just going to have more energy over the day, and you're just going, I don't need love from that person right now. I don't need to fight for the love of that person right now. I don't need to protect for the love of the energy of that person right now, because that got it going on right here. So that's a reason why you can really overcome type 2 diabetes. So I've seen pictures of clients as well that I've got that have, shall we say, they've gone for the Fit at 50 test. And this is the picture that I have seen in abundance of. Go for a Fit at 50 test. And then they end up blood pressure test. So sometimes you can get like a white coat raising blood pressure. So kind of like just going to the doctors can be stressful in itself. So your blood pressure is a natural response that you have to stresses externally. So again, it's learning, how can I deal with these external stresses? Take 3 breaths even. Everything starts to come back into alignment. Your organs start to come back in alignment. You start to release toxins, nutrients start to balance up in your own body. Your chemistry starts to come back into alignment, and starts to become balanced just literally by the conscious take 3 breaths. So your blood pressure will go up with external factors. So if you've got blood pressure as well at the moment, that's going up through the roof, or it's even low. If your blood pressure is low, you've got some heavy metals going around your circulatory system. Where is it that you're being hard on yourself and you're literally constricting a life force out of yourself? You know, again, have some fun, create some joy in your life. Again, take time out for service for you. So this is why it's really important, why so many people are symptomatic right now, for literally being self-service, which is doing the jobs, and not being service to others, which is literally coming home to you and looking after you. That is service to humanity. So, you know, so blood pressure. So the picture that I see a lot of is they go for the Fit at 50, they end up on statins, the blood pressure stuff. The statins end up disrupting the kidney enzyme, vitamin B enzyme. So I think it's Norway, Sweden, somewhere like that, they actually prescribe vitamin B alongside with the statin. We don't in this country. So your renin enzyme. So your renin enzyme is the thing in the kidneys that puts calcium into your bones. It also disrupts your digestive enzyme. So if you can't digest anything, you're just going to hold on to parasites and toxins in your gut. So your gut, if you've got anything going on with your gut, you're going to feel tired, no energy. Also, it disrupts coenzyme Q10. So this is where you need the vitamin B and the coenzyme Q10 if you're taking a statin. So your coenzyme Q10 releases pathogens and toxins from the brain. Again, if you have got a toxic brain, then you're going to get that, you know, that brain fog. I can't think, I've got no clarity. So I see this picture all the time. And then because people have had disrupted enzymes from the statins, they then go into a type 2 diabetes formation. So then they'll end up on more tablets for the type 2 diabetes formation, which then disrupts the gut even more, and they start to get heartburn. So then they'll end up on the heartburn tablets, which is 2 types of those. And again, they strip the body of vitamin B. So if you've got no vitamin B in your body, again, your digestive system is just going to remain out. There's going to be no balance brought back by these things whatsoever. Also, these things, when tested, contained mercury. And so again, if you've got low blood pressure and you've got, and it's not cholesterol, well, sometimes it can be cholesterol around the arteries. But that's just a picture. What's actually sitting in the arteries is heavy metals, and it's normally, when I've tested it in the arteries, it's normally high levels of mercury. So, interesting. So, mercury is used as a natural preservative because it's on the periodic table, so they can class it as natural. And that is placed in every single pharmaceutical that I have tested on my BioMachine, except one pharmaceutical, which is the anti-sickness drug in chemotherapy, which was a pure, just probiotic. Didn't contain any aluminium, didn't contain mercury. So every single tablet that I've tested contains mercury. Every single one contains aluminium. The plastic coated capsules contain paraffin oil. Paraffin oil is the number one allergen that I find in people. So when we are in a mild allergic situation, your circulatory system will start to constrict. Your vascular system will constrict. Your adrenals will start to kind of like not operate properly. You'll feel tired, just kind of like low energy. So can you see where there's certain things coming from external authorities that are really going to dampen and lower your energy levels? But it can be turned round, quite easily and quite quickly as well. So lifestyle changes, dietary changes, avoiding foods that contain mercury. What contains mercury when? White flour contains mercury, except Dove Farm flour. It's an organic flour, so the mercury in white flour is coming from the pesticides used on the wheat that is grown. So there is a court case, it was years ago with, GlaxoSmithKline, one of those companies that created pesticides, and they were sued for creating cancer to a greenkeeper who was basically putting the pesticides on the green, and several other people as well. So they all clubbed together and took them to court. So we know that these things are carcinogenic, and this is why it's got the mercury element in it. Whenever I am testing a cell, it always has mercury around in the cell wall, and it makes the cell wall floppy, so then pathogens can pass through the membrane of the cell wall, get to the cell nucleus, and the cell nucleus then starts to make cellular changes into cancerous changes. I haven't got a PhD, but in 15 years I've worked out how this thing works. And yet, how long has it taken cancer research with billions of pounds that have going into their pockets? And when I've tried to share this information, so it'd be really interesting if YouTube will actually share this video. I'm just giving you the picture of what I found over the last 15 years in people and in clients, which is interesting. So free will is really important. Free will is really important to keep you fit and healthy right now. Recharging your batteries is really important. What is energetically lowering my energy? Don't take my word for it. I will show anyone how to kinesiology test it, muscle test it. Use your own innate authority. Ask your body. Don't take my authority. Don't take an external authority. Ask your body what it needs. Ask your body what it wants. You can test what is it that I want today. You might have something that's really colourful and fruity and everything else that is natural. And you might pick it up and test it, and your body's going, no, because there might be pesticides on it. Like your flour. Flour is a sustainable food source. Dove Farm flour, everyone, has no mercury in it. Is a beautiful sustainable food source that you can do your baking with and everything else, but the usual white flours, your cereals, anything that has wheat in it, even your tins of soup contain wheat as a thickener. Cheap, nasty. It's everywhere. Wheat is everywhere. So again, lower your energy. If you've got arthritis, definitely avoid the wheat. Definitely avoid it. Sugars, so they can also come up as maltodextrin, feed cancers. Absolutely, they're the pathogens, the cancerous pathogens. Absolutely, gobble it up and multiply by it. So kind of like these kind of like Macmillan tea parties with cake. Are you shitting me? It's kind of like, really. So white sugar, again, can really lower your energy levels. When people go, oh, I'm really tired, I need a little bit of a sugar rush. It's false economy. It's false economy, because what will happen is, you might get a little bit of a burst of energy because you're feeling a little bit of joy because you've eaten that chocolate bar or whatever it is. You'll get a short, sharp burst of energy, and then your adrenals will just go, they'll just flatline again, because your pathogens, because of the sugar levels, will start to go up again. Your acidity levels in your body will start to go up again, because sugar is acidic. It's not alkali. So again, look at your alkalis in foods, stay away from your acidic foods. And that helps balance up your body as well. So if you are symptomatic right now with anything that's going on, it's because you've got some belief systems and some programs going on in your body that are definitely not serving you. So you are living your life from an external authority and definitely not on your own authority. So this is a sovereign beingness, and so there's lots of decision making. So the teeth are going to feel it. If you are living your life on somebody else's authority, and this is a really interesting one in that, mainstream media were saying that they're adding fluoride into the municipal water supply at the moment because children's teeth are rotting. Look at your child. Where is it that they are living their lives on somebody else's authority? Is it school? Is it yours? Is it limiting belief programs that we have got as a society? We are ascending. We are going from third dimensional way of being to a fourth, fifth dimensional way of living. It's going to look very different. You may judge people for living their lives a little bit differently, but just look at them. Could they be an inspiration? Might not be for everyone, but some people are stepping out of the box courageously, and there's going to be other people, looking at them, not paying taxes, look at them, not putting into the community. Just really have a conversation with them and see where they actually are placing their energy. And it won't be for money. They may be doing a lot of things just because they love helping people. And they'll not literally ask for anything back. It's just that they've got the energy to put into that. So yeah, they might not be feeding into the system in a monetary sense, but they'll be feeding into the system in an energetic, and it will be for the greater good of all. So if you are looking at people at the moment and you are being quite judgy because people are wanting to live their lives on authorities, and there'll be 1/3 maybe, it will not even probably that much. It will get to 1/3 living on their own authority, and the authorities, the external authorities, not going to like it. Because it's not getting revenue. But like even this video, explaining the potentials of how you can turn your health around. Sick people make money. So there'll be some people that are not going to like my video, like during the 2020 planned event. I was putting out videos how to test your own vitamin D levels. It got banned. I was banned off YouTube for showing people how to test their own vitamin D. What's that about? So, and again, look at the skies at the moment. How much vitamin D are we getting from this weather in the UK? So don't buy into the climate change thing as well, because some of it is natural, but some of it is also man-made, shall we say, as well, and has been. So this was kind of like there were experiments being done kind of like World War II, World War One. So there's more to it than what has been revealed in all these years, like World War II, 80 years ago or whatever. So in 80 years, certain things that have been kept from us, and you're paying for the privilege of certain things being done by sleight of hand underneath the table, and you are feeding into those authorities or paying for those authorities. You're paying for the chemicals that are going up there. You're paying the wages for the person that is spraying up there. So forest fires, aluminium. So I've tested also what is in the skies. High levels of fungicide and aluminium, lots of aluminium. So if you're getting aluminium in your woods, your trees, the soil, the ground and everything else, all it takes is a little spark these days. And then you've got the adding the powdered aluminium to aviation fuel, because it's more combustible, so it makes it cheaper. You've got that added to it as well. You've also got the aluminium from pharmaceuticals that people are consuming and urinating out into your beautiful municipal water supply. Huge amounts of aluminium everywhere. What have we got all of a sudden? It also appears in your nose as a preservative. What are we seeing high levels of at the moment? Alzheimer's. When you test somebody with Alzheimer's, their brain is full of aluminium. So are they on statins because they haven't got the coenzyme Q10 to clear out the toxins from the brain? Coffee. Coffee, is it full of pesticides? Yes, some coffee is. So again, you're just feeding the body full of aluminium. It's gonna come up in your body as a symptom somewhere. So you may get cramps in the calves. You may get tinglings in your hands and fingers. You'll feel it kind of like in the heart a little bit. You'll definitely, be foggy in the mind. You'll start to be forgetful. These are all a sign that you've got toxins in the body. Coenzyme Q10 could be really, really helpful for releasing some of these toxins in the body. Eating a nutritional diet to help. So when you push nutrients into a cell, it pushes toxins out. It's not the pathogens that are toxic, it's the toxins from the pathogens. So the pathogens are your bacteria, viruses and parasites. It's the toxins from the pathogens that are the thing that is the easiest way to deal with it, because the pathogens aren't really harmful on their own. Viruses are dead until you wake them up in your body with your belief system. So viruses aren't really scary either. So there's so much that we can do. Check in with your own inner authority. Check in with your own energy. What is it that I'm doing in my daily practices, in my day? Am I service to self, which is the job of feeding that financial system? Is it feeding? It might be feeding you, to be fair. Is it feeding you healthily? A lot of the foods in our supermarkets as well are toxic. You go abroad and go into like the local markets and the supermarkets there, it's kind of like food looks completely different, tastes completely different, feels completely different. Have you ever had one of those avocados that literally feel like rubber and you like you're chewing for half an hour just to get through it? Braising a cabbage over a flame these days, it's kind of, it like turns into plastic. It's kind of like, are you kidding me? It's like, what is this shit that we are putting in our bodies right now? So again, where is it that we are contracting to this and in agreement to it? And where is it that we can say, no, in a quiet, peaceful, sovereign manner, I'm stepping outside of that way of being. I'm taking my own inner authority back. And how can I do that? Can I, put my energy into communally growing our own for the greater good? And we know exactly what pesticides are going on this food. We know where it's coming from. We know what it is. There's more and more of these that are coming up. Where is it that I can put my energy into getting some really good food in my body? And you will have the energy to live your life in a completely different way. So if you are feeling tired, unenergetic right now, stuff going on, it's kind of like it's time to have a look. It's time to open that Pandora's box of what's been going on for absolutely a long time now and get it out. Courageously unpack it, unfold it. So I'm just giving you some little key codes there to unlock your DNA, to unlock a different energetic way of being, to unlock a symptomatic body, to really get your glow on, to really live life how you are designed by your creator's blueprint to live your life. Judge me all you want for living the way that I live my life and the way that I'm going to be living my life. Judge away. Zero figs given. I just put it in the fuck it box. So it's really kind of, I am really turning things around and trying to look at the way that I am living right now. Where is my worries going? Where is my anxieties coming from? And it's that way of being. People judge me and my husband because we don't have the conventional type of jobs or the conventional type of work. because we class ourselves as retired, but we put our time, energy, and efforts to fill our cups, and then the rest of the day is kind of like, right, how can I gift that for the greater good? So it might look like 2 hours a day of work in your community. That could be coming up as well, in the future. So it'll be service to self. So it'll be service to self, which means kind of like, how can I keep my body and my mind clear, and whatever that entails, for say 2 hours a day. Probably even a little bit longer, because like I said, it's 51% service to you and your body and keeping yourself upright, energetic value, and 49% to others. So it will be the value of you finding fun and experiential joy, and finding that within. So gratitude is a really, really good way of creating that joy from within, just being grateful for what you have. And then using that energy, can I do something for the greater good? So it's service from self to service to humanity, a new 5D program. We've already lived this way of being, kind of like in Atlantis. So some of you with Atlantean DNA, you hold it, and that's why you are here, to hold that energetic value, and you will kind of like instinctively or intuitively be guided to a certain way of living, and that will be kind of like the new kind of 5D program that you're already kind of like doing it, and you become the inspiration for other people. A lot to unfold there, so I'll leave it with you. All of my love for today, and I will check in with all of you at a later date. Anyone that wants to know more about how to bring your health into alignment, check out my website, justbe.me, and it's just the letter B, just the letter B.me. Keep it simple, because it's really coming back home into your creative design blueprint, your authenticity of who you are. Every day should be a delight to live. This human life experience is something to behold, is something to be really feel grateful for. So if you're clock watching in your 8-hour a day job, and it's kind of like, oh, 10:30, it's break time. Oh, I just need to make it to break time, and then kind of like you've done your 10-minute break with kind of like Big Brother watching you, and you're feeling guilty because you sat down with Big Brother watching, and then it's kind of like, oh gosh, it's 12 o'clock, it's lunchtime. Oh, thank goodness for that. And you only get half an hour these days. I remember the day we used to get an hour for your lunch, and you've got your half an hour again. Big Brother's watching you. Kind of like if you're still on site and you sat there feeling guilty, it's kind of like, where do you energetically get the time to unfold and to recharge your batteries? And then you get home, and if you've got kids, you're picking the kids up, you're making tea, and it's kind of like, do you know what, I haven't even got the energy to speak to my wife or my husband right now. So your relationship begins to suffer as well. There's no intimacy within there, there's no sacred union, there's nothing. Sex is probably even gone off the table. So it's kind of like, you are an amazing human being on this planet, and you are definitely worth more than that shit. You are definitely worth more than that. And I know how difficult it is, because I've been on that hamster wheel and I've been in that rat race, and it was only for me that it was kind of like illness dragged me off it. It felt like choice, but it wasn't choice. Illness dragged me off it, and I am so grateful that it did, because it kind of made this way of being, it changed my path. And that might come to a lot of people, in that your health may not allow you to turn up for work right now as well. So we're going to get companies, if they're having to pay for several people to be off with mental health time to recuperate, they're paying wages and getting nothing back for it. So we're going to see these companies, infrastructures literally crumble. They were the mammoths, the giants. We're going to see them crumble, because energetically it will be a real chore to be in that environment. physically and mentally anymore. So again, where can these organisations and these companies, where can I make the working environment a better working environment, a more equal, energetic balance? So again, even that, where can I put systems in place that supports the physical and mental health of my staff, of my employees? Where is it that I can put the gratitude back in for their energy, their efforts, and their input into my company and my space? So again, kind of like any bosses out there that are wanting, a little bit of, well, how can I do this? There are lots of things that can be put in place, within a work environment that potentially doesn't have to cost huge amounts of money. Gentle things that can be done, even free information. There's all sorts that can be done. Like I know a local dentist, they do I think every Tuesday night, something like that, they have yoga after, when the surgery closes, they offer yoga to all their staff on a Tuesday evening, and the surgery pays for it. So sometimes it's just little things like that can sometimes help your staff feel supported, and that their energetic value is feeling supported. There is one company where everyone was on the same wages, even the cleaner, and she, through her own self-esteem and her own wages, started to buy fresh flowers for the whole environment. Had things decorated, so the working environment was such a beautiful place to work in. All these changes and all these things that are coming in. So by 2030, we are going to start to see a real separation. There are big potential authorities that are going to crumble and come down, because they'll just have no one to work for them, because it'll just feel so energetically repulsive that you won't have the health or energy to work for them, because of the raise in the frequency of the planet's energy. You can't ignore it now. That is supporting the evolution of the human being. That is putting the quest for it as a collective. So yeah, interesting times. So I will leave these channeled energies and thoughts, new belief systems with you to just leave it to soak, and then you've got a free will, so you do whatever you want with it. Take it or leave it, it's up to you. But you deserve a good life, you deserve a good experience. This is the last incarnation on this planet, so you might as well make it a good one. And then you get to choose whatever it is that you want to do. So it's the last incarnation on this planet of this type of incarnation, because again, we've had quarantine from other beings on this planet, other planets, all different beings come and go, and they all get along and everything else. Not always, but majority. Because the other planets are a higher dimension than the Earth. The Earth are the new kids on the block. We are the lowest dimension at the moment, except the new planet that has just coming into creation. It's got its own sun, it's got its own moon. There are mountains being moved about it, and the grids are being created on it and everything else, and it's getting ready to be ready, and it'll be ready when it's ready. But after this incarnation, you get to choose whatever it is that you want to do. You ain't done yet, but why not make it a good one? Live an extraordinary life, because you're worthy of it. So however it is that you want to live, go for it, do it, get over yourself and just go for it, and enjoy the absolute heck out of it. Apologies for my language in some of this video, but whatever. If you're offended, again, you need to check in with your humility. And again, kind of like the being offended and the you know, going into the victimhood, you've got some sacral issues going on there and some solar plex issues going on there, and potentially even root chakra. So those bottom three chakras, you know, and crown chakra, you know, your sense of sovereignty. When you've got a seven sovereignty, you know, you are the creator. How can you ever be offended? So again, if you're feeling offended by something or someone, and the external is kind of like getting on your nerves somehow, you've got some stuff to look at and unpack. Yeah, and that's going to get interesting as well, kind of like looking at that. Love you all. Live your magic. You don't know how awesome you are. You know, you really are unique and magical beings, each and every one of you. Remember your magic and live it. The manifestation magic, the oneness, the unity, you know, all of those things that we're missing from the Bible. Live it. Live a good life. You deserve it. Right. Have an amazing day. See you later. Bye.